can't tell me how in 5 games the same thing happens at the exact same time, and we're gonna argue about, oh, it's D'Lo's effort, it's Reeves' ability. That's not why the same exact thing happened the exact same time, the exact same way. Ownership, whatever it is, front office as a whole, coaching. That's the gap between the Lakers and the Nuggets.
It is official. After 5 games, the Los Angeles Lakers have been swept out of the playoffs. I don't know how you get swept in 5 games, but
that's an air ball.
Yeah. Terrible times to be a Lakers fan. Final game, 106-108. It ended with a Jamal Murray clutch step back, jump shot, fade away, lean to the left, lean to the right on Austin Reeves. Lakers led in pretty much every game of the series. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, every game of the series. We're talking about blown 10-digit leads, 20-digit leads. Specifically in that third quarter, they really go out there and ham it up, some would say,
Lay the hammer down.
A real hamster class. I don't know. Go ahead, Damo.
Last year I felt, man, all these games felt winnable, but the Nuggets played great. We lost. It is what it is. This year, every game literally was winnable that we lost. We led them. All of them. We led for what they said, 145 minutes compared to 45 minutes of Nuggets leading. Like we led in the entire series, it felt like. In every game in the third quarter, ham-bone started ham-boning. Runs started to happen. Matchups were like bad matchups, bad lineups, bad everything. I can't tell many people about the last game. Also, I blame myself. I said I wasn't going to watch the last game. I popped in right as Darvin Ham challenged a dumb play. I don't know what the context was. I don't know what happened at all. All I know is when I got in, it was 3:03 left. He actively was challenging the play. And I'm looking, I'm like, wait, is this the same AD a foul? No. AD ain't gonna foul out with this. I'm like, is this gonna give AD his 5th foul? No. AD got like 3 fouls.
Well, can I interject real quick because I want to give you some context. So part of the reason, if you remember last game, LeBron was flailing his arms violently, asking for a challenge from Darvin Ham, begging and pleading for a challenge from Darvin Ham, but he did not challenge it. So in true buddy fashion, non-leader fashion, he said, you know what? I'm going to make up for it this next game, and I'm going to call the challenge when my guys ask for it. But as I stated during the time of the play, and as I tweeted out afterwards, although you won it, you still lose a timeout. And the Lakers sure could have used that timeout on that final possession or last couple of possessions.
I just thought that was their first challenge, and maybe I don't know the rules specifically, but on your first challenge, if you win the challenge, you get to keep your timeout. I thought that's why they did it, but apparently not. So yeah, that was my only argument for that challenge.
Wait, so was that their first challenge or was it their second challenge?
That's why I don't know.
I'm gonna look up the coach's challenge rules. Because this was a big moment of contention. A head coach, each team may utilize a challenge trigger. I'll look it up, but Eric, keep going. Sage, haven't won but one game in the last 13 for the Lakers when it comes to the Nuggets. I mean, that's your teammate. How does that feel?
So for me, and it's ironic, right? Because I want to initially say like, oh yeah, these teams, despite the record, they're weirdly relative, but Ham's a tank. But here's the thing, man. If you know what's gonna happen every time, I can't say it's relative. It ultimately, despite how close the games are, Lakers fans, they just know diff, because all it is literally third quarter adjustments made, GGs, we don't have an adjustment back, and or we will do something mind-numbingly stupid. And if both of those things aren't done, Jamal Murray with the game on the line is him. So it's over with. So I don't think that we're as close to the Nuggets as a lot of people want to say we are, because I think if we know what the inevitable outcome is going to look like, doesn't matter. So for me, in terms of pain, initially I felt no pain. After game 3, after the crash out, it was at peace. I was at peace with game 4. We ended up winning. Didn't see not one dribble. Game 5, I saw a couple of dribbles. Seen the ending. That was funny, but I felt no pain the last 2 games. But today, I feel an uncomforting pain, because it's like acceptance time. And it's not acceptance of, we're worse than the Nuggets. It's acceptance that, if we got to be blunt, man, the LeBron era was fun, bro. It was fun, man. It's time. It's time. The West is too young. Too many teams are coming on the horizon. And even if they weren't, then we ain't gonna be Denver. I think it's time, man.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. So I looked it up, and it's very convoluted. But I think one of the things that is interesting about the challenge rule is that apparently, I think it was this past series, OKC's coach, either OKC's coach or Minnesota's coach, went through a similar situation in their series where they called a timeout or a challenge, won but lost it, and then it was either Chris Finch or whoever the OKC coach came out in the press conference and was like, "Hey, we need to understand those rules. We need some more clarification because we think one way and it's coming this way." But I think that that's a point of contention. Somebody on the assistant coach staff, Damari Carroll, should be paying attention to those things and bringing it up later on, because it may affect you later on. But even at the risk of potentially losing it, I still believe they shouldn't have done it. Two shots for Jokic. 2 shots for Jokic is 2 shots for Jokic. He makes them. It's a 2-point game. He makes one, misses. It's a 1-point game. It was going to be that way either way, but a timeout would have really served them well. Bezos, I know you and I watched that game and some other games. Just what are your quick thoughts? Because I have some extremely quick thoughts on this series.
The gap between the Lakers and Denver is not big, but the gap exists. Period, point blank. It doesn't matter how close that gap is. They are just better than y'all. Yeah, in this series, y'all got cooked in the third quarter every single time. It seemed like clockwork. Jamal Murray, shout out to Jamal Murray. Yeah, he's one of those dudes where I don't give a fuck what he does in the regular season at this point.
Facts.
I don't. I care what he does in the playoffs. That is how I'm gonna rank him. When people ask me who the best point guards, best clutch performers, best playoff performers are in the league, because this is where he shows out. And I understand his stats for the series aren't even like that, but if you watch the games, he had his moments. Clearly, game 2, game 4, he went on stretches that were crucial. He made timely buckets when they needed to be made. So shout out Jamal Murray. Jokic is the best player in the world. Averaged 30, 12, and 10 this series. Bro's a monster.
People think he had a down series in 2 games or down game in 2 games.
That's what I'm saying, with AD being his primary defender, and then MPJ. Jeez, man.
As a third option, right?
As a third option, giving y'all 22 points on like 55 shooting, 45 from 3. Well-coached team. I understand right now we're holding the Lakers accountable as much as we can, but I think a big part of it, I'd say like 30 to 40% of it, is just y'all face a fucking better team, dog. Like, even if y'all got that third star, even if y'all got, like, let's say a better backup big, I don't think these things like really sway the series. Maybe y'all win another game and go 6, but nah, Denver's just like that. So
it's only real quick on. I just want to say to what Biso said. There's only one thing that I would say personally, if we changed, it would eliminate that gap that you see. The gap between the Nuggets and the Lakers is coaching. That is the gap. Coaching, front office, management, ownership, whatever it is. Front office as a whole, coaching. That's the gap between the Lakers and the Nuggets. It's not. It has nothing to do with the players.
I disagree.
I disagree with that.
And that's, I'm gonna talk about the game and transition into what my problems with some of the Lakers players are.
Some of the Lakers players have I mean, I'm gonna get into my ham soliloquy, and when I talk about end of eras, but for sure. So that's why I'm not talking about Darvin right now. But if we're talking just talent, and if I must talk about this accursed series, I'll say this, Damo. I disagree as well, only because the Lakers don't have, and a lot of players on the Lakers, they don't have a certain motor, at least on the defensive side of the ball, that Denver has, not even remotely close. They don't have an Aaron Gordon. They don't have a Peyton Watson. They don't have any of these guys. And as much of a sound good defenders we have, and maybe if Van Dole's healthy from game one, sure, I'll even say he's fucking equal to the best defender in Denver for you, just for the sake of argument. It's still not even close when we're comparing the motor and or ability defensively of like a Rui, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Taurean Prince, LeBron James. Even it is real live 80. Backpacking the hell out of it at times, and then on rare occasions where it wasn't, something in the third quarter gave up. And/or Jokic was that damn good to make them look like fools.
Our best two defenders were injured, so I mean, there you go. I wholeheartedly believe it's a different series. We have our best two perimeter defenders to be able to throw in at any point in time when we're getting cooked. But I mean, listen, everyone here can disagree with me if you want to. You can't tell me how in 5 games the same thing happens at the exact same time, and we're going to argue about, oh, it's D'Lo's effort, it's Reeves' ability, it's Rui's ability. No, that's not why the same exact thing happened the exact same time, the exact same way. It's coaching. It's making adjustments. It's decisions.
He has a significant.
I'm sorry. We literally.
I'd even go as far as say more than
50%
for sure.
Let me say what I saw, because I didn't watch a lot of Lakers this season. I watched this series though. First of all, like I said, that was a terrible challenge, but I understand my brother's plight now. I understand you guys' plight now, my brothers as well. Darvin Coach Ham is not a coach. He's a buddy. And we'll talk about that whole D'Lo, Taurean Prince, Dennis Schroeder shit in 2 seconds, but he's not a coach. He is a buddy. So I don't not acknowledge that. But Damo, I can't agree with you when you say it's not the players and their effort and their mentality and their IQ, when on this final drive of the game, we have people who don't know about, and JJ Redick and LeBron talked about this, the concept of court mapping. We have what's called court mapping. Taurean Prince, before Jamal Murray drives, is telling Rui Hachimura, hey, I've got
shoot right at the elbow.
Both of them. I can get both of them. You know this. I can guard both. I can guard both in this situation. Just go if Jamal comes. Just go if Jamal comes. He tells him again. Puts his hand on him. Tells him to go again. He does not decide to take a step until and mind you, even right here, I don't know what you're doing. I don't even have any gripes for Austin Reeves here, not the lockdown defender, whatever. Jamal Murray hits that. Taurean Prince can guard both of those people. That's what he's saying. If not, make them make a harder shot than this shot. He got right where he wanted and put it in his mouth. Now, on top of that, hold on. On top of that, I've seen other plays, and it's not just Austin Reeves, where they are just sitting in space. And people are moving around them, behind them, and then But mind you, I saw Denver, and LeBron James has some holding this too. That foul, that off a layup, this is a foul. We got to stop that. Meanwhile, I see Jokic run the floor often. I see Aaron Gordon run the floor often. A lot of Aaron Gordon's points from this game and from that other game where he went stupid, he ran the floor. Jokic gets to throw it out. Nobody's running the floor with him. A lot of these threes that they get off of offensive rebounds is a lot of Lakers players just standing around. It's a different type of motor. You can't say it's not a different type of motor.
I'm telling you, I don't think it's a different type of motor, because literally, religiously, again, for the 3 games I watch religiously, and I'm not even speaking on the season, just the 3 games we played this series until game 4. And I didn't watch game 4, so I can speak on game 4. All those assignments, all those adjustments, all those rotations, hit him. Jamal Murray shooting like shit. Jokic is looking quiet. Everyone outside of MPJ, apparently, everybody else is not shooting as efficiently as they shoot. Now, a lot of these they ended up being a lot of open shots in the second half, but in the first half, for whatever reason, everything was on the money with rotations, switches, defense, assignments, everything. And in the third quarter, After the 10-minute mark, it all goes away. Now, Omar, I would feel you if it was just Rui. I would feel you if it was just Reeves. It's everybody doing it. They change certain assignments, and then they all are doing this. I'm standing and watching the ball. I'm standing in open space with my hands out, not watching the guy behind me go from the hash down to the corner. Now he's open for a 3. They're all doing that. I'm sorry. There's no way everyone's playing one way in the first half, and then the second half, everyone plays one way. That's coaching. Something's being told to people that's wrong. Now, if we don't want to say Darvin Ham, cool. Damari Carroll, Phil Handy, whoever the fuck we want to blame, cool. I watched it 3 games in a row. That's coaching.
Yeah,
there's adjustments that were made that were the wrong adjustment. Even what you just spoke on, if you pull that play back up, say Rui does show. Where was LeBron at? He was on Aaron Gordon. LeBron wasn't going to leave Aaron Gordon. I've watched LeBron for so long on this Laker team give up that corner shot, which is exactly what would have happened. Jamal would have kicked to the KCP, Torian Prince rotated up, and guess who's open in the corner? MPJ. If that's a harder shot than Jamal Murray fading over Austin Reeves, if that's the harder shot, okay, I guess. But MPJ, who's on fire, getting an open corner 3, which LeBron would 100% gave up because he's giving it up so goddamn much this season. He gave it up so much goddamn much last season. It wouldn't have made a difference. It's literally the schemes. It's who Darvin Ham decided to have where on what player, what guys are decided to have in. Why were we not in that situation where we're getting out rebounded, where we're getting out muscled? LeBron is getting out worked by Aaron Gordon. Why would we not have LeBron guarding an MPJ? Why would we not have 2 bigs in for that situation? Well, I can tell you why we didn't. Because there was no fucking timeouts. So we couldn't even have done that. But regardless, why is there not 2 bigs in right there? Why is Jackson Hayes not in the game guarding Aaron Gordon to be there for rim protection if somebody cuts or whatever, and you let Anthony Davis guard Jokic? Or flip it. Let Jackson Hayes be a body on Jokic and let Anthony Davis roam to help pick up on AR, whoever's guarding Jamal Murray. There's options on what you can do. We didn't do them at all. It's coaching. That is the difference. When the Nuggets were down against us, you know what they did? Adjust. Oh, they're killing us with the AD and LeBron pick and roll. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to put Aaron Gordon on LeBron now. He's fighting through the screen, so you're not getting that switch. And if you want to have AD attack Jokic, that's fine. Jokic is just going to be physical with him. 9 times out of 10, AD is going to hit the shot or not hit the shot. He's going to look for the call, not get the call. But we're going to live with that. But we're not going to let y'all get this disadvantage that you want. We're not going to give you what you want. Oh, y'all want LeBron to get a mismatch bet. KCP, you're going to guard LeBron. So now when he thinks he has this disadvantage down here, you can actually be ready for a LeBron post-up and create, 4 or 5 LeBron turnovers in game 3 it was? Or game 2? And there were no adjustments from there. And guess what we did? On our end. Once we see they adjusted, you know what we did? Nothing. There was no rotate. There was no switching the plan. There was no, hey, maybe we should go at it this way. It was nothing. It was, hey, let's just keep trying to ISO Bron.
Timeout did the same thing.
Let's just keep trying to get Bron to force it. Let's just try to get Bron to force the pass in there. That's stupid.
Nobody's saying that coaching isn't an issue. We're definitely going to talk about what Darvin Ham said. But again, if you think it's 0, then we would all just have to agree to disagree. There is a motor problem with
What's the biggest issue?
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to chime in and talk about.
Because maybe that's all what it is. What would you say the biggest issue is?
I think the biggest issue is that y'all fail to acknowledge that there's a lot of issues. That as a Lakers organization, that's the biggest issue.
No one is saying there's not a lot of issues. All I'm saying is the small gap Bezos is saying, that gap honestly is coaching. But I won't sit here and say it's just coaching for why we're bad or why they're better than us. Obviously, there's other reasons. There's performance reasons. It's obvious. What's the biggest reason we lost this series?
I have a terrible GM.
Front office, cool. There we go. We agree. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think this is unironically one of those things where if we're doing it in a first take format, I would necessarily agree with Damo, but unfortunately, it's not like which is the bigger issue, one of the two. I think the original conversation was why is there a gap? And I think the answer to why is there a gap is a very, very, very healthy combination. Maybe even more towards Darvin Ham, which I would agree. It's more Darvin Ham than it is the players. However, there's a significant thing. For example, even what Damo mentioned about LeBron giving up corner threes versus or staying attached to Aaron Gordon. Either way, the fact that we don't trust LeBron in that situation is right there theoretically a problem. That's just not something that we should just let just be blown by in the soliloquy there. So I think ultimately when we have situations where we're calling timeouts, and as a player or even as a coach, you see something's not working, you go out and do the same thing on both sides of the floor. Aaron Gordon, you talk about LeBron turning over in the post. Hell, I seen Aaron Gordon dunk from not even just a dunker spot, but the same exact spot on the field, maybe 5 out of 6 straight plays. And I don't think that's any level of hyperbole. Then we call out, again, we call a timeout, we come out, or I think it was halftime, come back in the game. He's still doing the exact same shit. It's the nastiest thing possible. I'm not going to lie. I think this team just quit on themselves early as fuck too. I think they really thought they won game 2. And when they didn't win game 2, it was over with. In my personal opinion, I seen them come out and get leads in I think every game, but I've seen them get the lead for sure. But I know for a fact once they did not win game 2, not only did Darvin Ham lose the locker room, but some of them lost themselves. We talk about the D-Lo clip, and we talk about, oh yeah, D-Lo, that's some sorry shit. But at the end of the day, that's just going to add to the point. The nigga quit. That add to the nigga quit. People over here bitching for refs at an all-time level, to give Omar some credit here. Like, my God, I ain't gonna lie, the whole Denver team is past half court, and we're still looking at the ref like he smacked your mom. Dog, get down the court and bitch at that nigga later, bro. It's the Lakers have been an unserious team for a long time. A long time, maybe 3 years. Hell, even in 2020, there were certain characters that I thought were unserious. But this whole era of the LeBron Lakers basketball, and it's not necessarily LeBron specifically at the Dick Suckers, but just in general, the roster, it's just been so unserious at times for literally no reason.